Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, Chapter 7, Text 1. Agati eka gatim natva hinartadika sadakam suchaitanyam likyatesya prema bhakti vedanyata. Let me first offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the ultimate goal of life for one bereft of all possessions in this material world, and is the only meaning for one advancing in spiritual life. Thus, let me write about his magnanimous contribution of devotional service in love of God. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. A person in the conditional stage of material existence is in an atmosphere of helplessness, but the conditioned souls under the illusion of Maya or the external energy thinks that he is completely protected by his country, society, friendship, and love, not knowing that at the time of death none of these can save him. The laws of material nature are so strong that none of our material possessions can save us from the cruel hands of death. In Bhagavad Gita 13:9, it is stated, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshan Udarsanam. One who is actually advancing must always consider the four principles of miserable life, namely birth, death, old age, and disease. One cannot be saved from all these miseries unless he takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is therefore the only shelter for all conditioned souls. An intelligent person, therefore, does not put his faith in any material possessions, but completely takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Such a person is called a kinchana, or one who does not possess anything in the material world. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is also known as a kinchana gochara, for he can be achieved by a person who does not put his faith in material possessions. Therefore, for the fully surrendered soul, who has no material possessions on which to depend, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the only shelter. Everyone depends upon dharma, religiosity, artha, economic development, kama, sense gratification, and ultimately moksha, salvation. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, due to his magnanimous character, can give more than salvation. Therefore, in this verse, the words hinartadikam sadakam indicate that although by material estimation salvation is not a quality superior to the inferior interests of religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification, above salvation there is the position of devotional service and transcendental love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the bestower of this great benediction. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Prema Pramartha Mahan. Love of Godhead is the ultimate benediction for all human beings. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, therefore first offers his respectful obeisances unto Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu before describing his magnanimity in bestowing love of Godhead. Text 2. Jaya Jaya Mahaprabhu Sri Krishna Chaitanya Tanhara Charana Shrita Se Badadanya. Let me offer glorification to the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One who has taken shelter of his lotus feet is a most glorified person. Purport. Prabhu means master. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the supreme master of all masters. Therefore he is called Mahaprabhu. Any person who has taken shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is most glorified because by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is able to get promotion to the platform of loving service to the Lord, which is transcendental to salvation. Purve Gurva Adi Chaya Tatve Kashila Namaskar Guru Tattva Kahiyache Eva Panchera Vichar. In the beginning, I have discussed the truth about the spiritual master. Now I shall try to explain the Panchatattva. Purport. In the first chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, the author, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, has described the initiator spiritual master and the instructor spiritual master. In the verse beginning with the words, Vande Gurun Isha Bhakta Isham Ishavatarakan. In that verse, there are 6 transcendental subject matters of which the truth regarding the spiritual master has already been described. Now the author will describe the other 5 tattvas, truths, namely Isha Tattva, the Supreme Lord, his expansion tattva, his incarnation tattva, his energy tattva, and his devotee tattva. Text 4. Pancha tattva avatirna chaitanyera sangye pancha tattva luna karena sankirtana rangye. These 5 tattvas incarnate with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and thus the Lord executes his Sankirtan movement with great pleasure. Purport. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is the following statement regarding Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna Varnam Tvisa Krishna Sangopangastra Parshanam Jagyaj Sankirtana Prayer Yajanti Hi Sumedasa. In the age of Kali, people who are endowed with sufficient intelligence will worship the Lord, who is accompanied by his associates by performance of Sankirtan Yagya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 5, Text 32. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always accompanied by his plenary expansion, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, his incarnation, Sri Advaita Prabhu, his internal potency, Sri Gadadhar Prabhu, and his marginal potency, Shivas Prabhu. He is in the midst of them as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should know that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also always accompanied by these other tattvas. Therefore, our obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are complete when we say Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. As preachers of the Krishna consciousness movement, we first offer our obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by chanting this Panchatattva mantra. Then we say, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There are 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, but these are not considered in the chanting of the Panchatattva mantra. namely Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Sri Chaitanya Prabhu is known as Mahavadanyavathara, the most magnanimous incarnation, for he does not consider the offenses of the fallen souls. Thus, to derive the full benefit of the chanting of the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, we must first take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, learn the Panchatattva Mahamantra, and then chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That will be very effective. Taking advantage of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there are many unscrupulous devotees who manufacture a Mahamantra of their own. Sometimes they sing Bhajanitai Gaur Radhe Shyam Hare Krishna Hare Ram, or Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare Krishna Hare Rama Shri Radhe Govinda. Actually, however, once you chant the names of the full Panchatattva, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, and then the 16 words, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But these unscrupulous, less intelligent men confuse the entire process. Of course, since they are also devotees, they can express their feelings in that way. But the method prescribed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pure devotees is to chant first the full Panchatattva Mahamantra and then chant the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Several years ago, the Temple Bhajan Band was playing kirtan for some bogus guru. We would play kirtan and sometimes also bring prasadam in the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there were other groups of chanters, and one group of lady chanters came up to me and said, "We're going to chant your mantra, Sura." So I waited. I thought they were going to chant Hare Krishna or some bhajan from the... And they chanted, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare Krishna Hare Rama Jai Radhe Govinda. I was like, I read about that. But where could they possibly have seen that or heard that? I had no idea. I even asked them, they said they didn't know where they learned it. But somehow they had become infected by diseased Vaishnavas, type of Vaishnavas, who chant this bogus mantra. So when I read this purport, I was reminded, we don't chant concocted mantras. Sometimes in the kirtan world, the kirtaniers, not of ISKCON, but especially outside of ISKCON, say that I composed this mantra. I am the composer of this kirtan. And even they chant Hare Krishna ISKCON, Hare Krishna tunes, and claim they're the composers. We've heard and seen. These are rascals doing all kinds of nefarious activities, eating meat, and thinking that they can chant the Mahamantra. Don't be fooled by these imposters. and they're chanting. Even I have no idea. I never heard this before, except from Srila Prabhupada. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Jai Radhe Govinda. And they recorded it on their album. They made an album, these matas, Shakti matas, and sang that song for 10 minutes. It was their number one hit. Bogus mantra, concocted mantra. And Srila Prabhupada points it out here, that don't be taken in. We chant Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. And we don't take credit for being the composer of this mantra or any tune for chanting. You don't have to make up tunes. There's hundreds and thousands of tunes from the ancient days, from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, from all the great predecessor acharyas. Who are we that we can make up a tune or make up or compose a mantra? Is a concoction, and no benefit is there. Although, Srila Prabhupada states here, the sentiment of bhakti may be there still, because they're concocting mantras. There's very little benefit. We have to be careful to always chant. And you may think, well, this isn't happening. It's everywhere. In the world of yoga, in the modern age, they're all chanting these mantras. Even one group we were at, they chant Hare Krishna backwards. I was like, somebody's dyslexic here. It's either us or them. And it's not us. But this is going on, and one has to be very careful. Don't think that Srila Prabhupada is pointing this out just for criticisms. Srila Prabhupada is pointing this out because he knew that this world was filled with nirvishay sunyavadi. So many impersonalists and voidists. And he actually came to defeat them. Not to join them, not to make best friends with them, not to play their kirtan in the kitchen, in the temple, but to defeat them with chanting of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada says it in this purport at least 4 times. So many times Srila Prabhupada says this, to drive it home to our dull brain, because we're thinking that we can chant these bogus mantras, or we could chant to some demigod, Ganesha, and derive the same benefit. No. You can sing a pretty song, but the benefit of devotional service, prema pumarto mahan, of love for Krishna, will not be manifest in your heart. Text number 5. Panchatattva ekavastu nahi kichu veda rasa asvadite tabu vivida vibeda. Spiritually, there are no differences between these 5 tattvas. For on the transcendental platform, everything is absolute. Yet there are also varieties in the spiritual world, and in order to taste these spiritual varieties, one should distinguish between them. Purport. In his Anubhashya commentary, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur describes the Panchatattva as follows. The Supreme Energetic, the personality of Godhead manifesting in 5 kinds of pastimes, appears as the Panchatattva. Actually, there is no difference between them because they are situated on the absolute platform. But they manifest different spiritual varieties as a challenge to impersonalists to taste different kinds of spiritual humors, rasas. In the Vedas it is said, Parasya Shaktir Vibhidaiva Shruyate. The varieties of energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are differently known. From this statement of the Vedas, one can understand that there are eternal varieties of humors or tastes in the spiritual world. Sri Gauranga, Sri Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Sri Gadadhar, and Srivas are all on the same platform, but in spiritually distinguishing between them, one should understand that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the form of a devotee. Nityananda Prabhu appears in the form of devotee's spiritual master. Advaita Prabhu is the form of a bhakta devotee incarnation. Gadadhar Prabhu is the energy of a bhakta, and Srivas is a pure devotee. Thus, there are spiritual distinctions between them. The Bhakta Rupa, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Bhakta Swarupa, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, and the Bhakta Avatar, Sri Advaita Prabhu, are described as the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. His immediate manifestation and His plenary expansions, and they all belong to the Vishnu category. Although the spiritual and marginal energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, they are predominated subjects, whereas Lord Vishnu is the predominator. As such, although they are on the same platform, they have appeared differently in order to facilitate tasting of different transcendental mellows. Actually, however, there is no possibility of one being different from the other, for the worshipper and the worshipable cannot be separated in any stage. On the absolute platform, one cannot be understood without the other. So, it's interesting that in the early 70s, before Srila Prabhupada translated the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita in 1975, I believe. In 73, Srila Prabhupada published a book which we distributed for many, many months. I think it was called The 5 Features of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, His 5 features. Is that it? Lord Chaitanya in 5 features. And all the old Prabhupada disciples who were around in 73 distributed thousands upon thousands of those books. Just like Srila Prabhupada took the pastimes from 10th canto before he knew he could finish the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, and in the early days published the Krishna book, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the same way, he published this most important chapter. The chapter that was in that book was Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila chapter 7. These verses, essential verses. And of course, Srila Prabhupada also wrote the book, The Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, as a summary study of Chaitanya Charitamrita. But this chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila chapter 7, is so important in the Krishna consciousness movement. And we can understand the importance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Krishna came, Srila Prabhupada says, to get everyone to surrender to him. Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam braja. Give up everything and surrender to me, Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita. And Srila Prabhupada stated that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is stating the same thing, but making it much easier for us. Because to surrender everything might be a little bit difficult. In Australia, one devotee asked question, Srila Prabhupada, how long does it take to surrender? Prabhupada said, don't you read Bhagavad Gita? Prabhupada looked around. The camera was moving. Do you read Bhagavad Gita? Krishna says, Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam braja. In 1 minute, you could surrender to Krishna. It takes 1 minute. Are you reading? Prabhupada said. And in Mayapur, some years later, Srila Prabhupada said that Krishna says, Sarvadharman parityaja, give up everything. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jale dako tahe kaha Krishna upadesh. Amara gyai guruhan tare dash. Prabhupada in 1975 in Mayapur said this verse so many times that everywhere we were going, to the shower, walking on the road, going to prasadam, it was in our brain, isn't it? Jale dako taeka Krishna upadesh, amara gyai guruhan tare dash. Everywhere you go, this was a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita that Lord Chaitanya told Kurma, the Brahmin. Kurma wanted to leave his home, give up everything, leave his wife and children, and travel with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, you stay here. Jale dako tahe kaha Krishna upadesh. Amara gyai guruhan tare dash. Everywhere you go, everyone you meet, you give them this science of Krishna consciousness as it's taught in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And by so doing, you'll become guru and liberate everyone in your land. Amar agyai guruhan tare dash. This is the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He makes it so much easier. The surrender means you preach Krishna consciousness. You give people the Harinam of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You give them the Mahaprashadam, and you give them Srila Prabhupada's books. One time in 1974, myself and Savas and Naikatma Prabhus were in Spokane, Washington. And we were at the time organizing the Sankirtan. So we wrote, along with the president, Hari Basara Prabhu of Spokane, Washington. Srila Prabhupada, please come. We can organize a big rock and roll band and get a big crowd and you come and speak. And Srila Prabhupada wrote back in April of 74 that you simply distribute books, Prashadam, and Harinam, and it will be as good as my personally being there. And when devotees heard this, devotees that I was telling Savas Prabhu, who knew in 1973 when we met in Denver and worked together in 74 in Spokane, Washington at the World's Fair. They used to have World's Fairs. That we would be growing all together in Krishna consciousness 46 years later. Bhakta Brad, you and the other Bhaktas, 46 years from now, in the year, what is that, 2065? What year would that be? 2065. You'll be sitting together practicing Krishna consciousness if you stick with the program. Who knew? I was asking Savas. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made it so easy. Jale dako tahi kaha. Krishna Upadesh. Amar gyai Guruhan tare dash. And Lord Krishna stated, Man manabhava mad bhakto majaji mam namaskuru. Think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your namaskuru, your obeisances. In this way you come to me. And Srila Prabhupada said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said the same thing, but he made it easy for us. Bolo Krishna Bhaje Krishna Koro Krishna Shiksha. Krishna says, Man manubhava mad bhakto, madhyaji mam namaskuru. Think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer obeisances. A little bit difficult for us to think of Krishna 24 hours in a day. Not so easy. In the old days when I joined, I was a young man, 19, 20 years old. And one big tall devotee, taller than Jayananda, our Jayananda Prabhu. He had a harmonica holder around his neck and some picture. You couldn't even see his face. And I walked up in Seattle. I said, what do you got there, Prabhu? On Harinam. He said, it's a picture of Radha and Krishna, so I won't fall in Maya. We can't all do that all the time. I do have a harmonica holder. I should try it. To think of Krishna 24 hours a day, to keep the picture. I'm a little bit, what is it called, nearsighted and stigmatism. So it might be very difficult for me. But he had a picture of Radha Krishna on a harmonica holder so he wouldn't see Maya. No looking at Maya. Of course, Maya is everywhere. But he was thinking by keeping the picture there is one way. It didn't last very long. I think the wind blew and the picture fell off the harmonica holder. We were on Harinam. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made it very easy. Bolo Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. Bhaje Krishna, worship Lord Krishna. Koro Krishna Shiksha, study the teachings of Lord Krishna and give those teachings to others. Bolo Krishna, Bhaje Krishna, Bolo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. Bolo Krishna, Bhaje Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. Very important verse that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us. Easy way to be Krishna conscious. Chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, beginning with Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda, and then the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So easy, even little child runs around the temple room, creating disturbance, but chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Everyone can chant. Bolo Krishna, Bhaji Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. Shiksha means the instructing, like the Shikshamrita. Shiksha, to study the instructions and to give the instructions. Be a Shiksha Guru. You're distributing Krishna consciousness, you are a Shiksha Guru. You are giving the instruction. Of course, there's also the first person who introduces you to Krishna consciousness. What is that called? Vartma Pradarshika Guru. There's the Vartma Pradarshika Guru, the Shiksha Guru, and the Diksha Guru. Very good. Of the three, our Sampradaya teaches us the most important is the Shiksha Guru. Of course, our Srila Prabhupada is the Diksha Guru of his disciples and Shiksha Guru for all of us. He is your Param Guru or your Param Guru in 2065. He'll be the Param Guru. But he is always the Shiksha Guru, giving instructions. So important in our line, because our line is not a Diksha line. Our Sampradaya is a Shiksha Sampradaya. From Gorkashore Das Babaji to Bhaktivinoda Thakur to, of course, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati and our Srila Prabhupada. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's association and understanding his appearance and activities, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that one who understands my janma, my birth, and my karma, my activities, can be situated on that are situated on the transcendental platform. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatvata tyaktva deham punar janma naiti Janmanaiti. He doesn't take birth again. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so merciful. At one point, he fell into the ocean because he mistook the ocean for the Jamuna, and he thought that he was seeing Radha and Krishna displaying pastimes in the water with the gopis. So many gopis. So he went in the water, and Chaitanya Charitamrita tells us one fisherman caught him in a net. He was a fisherman catching fish for dinner for his family. But he caught Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when he realized it wasn't fish, it was a person, a human, he tried to poke it out of his net. But as soon as he touched the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was taken over by devotional service. And he chanted, Hari Hari, Hari Hari. In the Krishna conscious videos, they say it a little differently, the Hari Hari part. He was chanting Hari 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 and thought he was taken over by a ghost. But later, who was it? Damodar? Swarup Damodar came and found Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and explained that this was not a ghost. You were bestowed so easily and kindly with devotional service just by touching the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are so fortunate that just by hearing from our Srila Prabhupada, just by hearing the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna himself, we become filled up with this ghost of Prema Bhakti. So it is the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that this Prema Pumarta Mahan, this love of God, becomes manifest ultimately in all of us. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Hari Hari. So can you also tell Jesse about Sunday? And find out about Saturday. Be nice if you can come. Let's go to the manifest.